Hello, my name is Frank Buchholz. I am the North Langley Regional Director for the Greater Langley Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber this year is doing videos with candidates for Langley City and Langley Township Council to help people make up their minds as they prepare to vote on October 20th. With me is Dana Miller. Dana is seeking a seat on Langley City Council. Welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run for council this time.
Sure, thank you for the opportunity. Langley's my hometown, from kindergarten through to high school, and returning here for university courses to complete my degree. And so I care about Langley. It's a greater portion of what contributed to my life, and I would like the opportunity to contribute to Langley.
Okay. We've put together a few questions, not solely about business, but chamber issues that are important to our members. And one of those, which is an issue of importance, I think, to all residents of Langley, is how we get around transit and transportation. There has been a lot of discussion in the Surrey campaign about the line to Langley City along Fraser Highway, whether it should be LRT or SkyTrain. I'd like to ask you what your thoughts are about that, and then maybe expand on that, your thoughts about improving transit and transportation in Langley City.
Okay, well, from my door knocking experience, speaking with residents of Langley, it's definitely a issue of vital importance. I personally don't have a preference, this or that, in terms of transportation, just so that in transportation increases for residents, so we can move people and products and get ideas shared more from our community and to our community. And I think that it's inevitable that a partnership with the province is down the road in order to receive funding to ensure that we get what we need here.
Okay, let's move on to housing. That's a critical issue in the city of Langley and in the whole region. Langley City has a very large supply of affordable rental housing, perhaps the most affordable in the region for many people. But a lot of those homes are older apartment buildings. And there are many people in Langley City who are relatively low income and they can't afford anything that's super fancy, and they certainly can't buy a $500,000 condo. How can the city council ensure that there's a good supply of affordable housing for rent and to own, and also social housing?
Again, I've heard that on the doorsteps. Affordable housing is required. I've also heard the concern about finding homes for individuals who are homeless. And so I really think in terms of Langley, the size of it, and the particular need for housing that's affordable and for individuals who are going to be downsizing, because we have a large demographic of senior citizens, that mixed use development will be needed. 3 to 4 stories high and no more than that, because Langley City is predominantly a flatter area and people want the view of the surrounding area that's beautiful. And so I would look at something more like the first level being storefront, and then mixed use in terms of affordable housing, perhaps renting, and then the next floor ownership. Okay. Whatever we can do in terms of mixed use.
Yeah. So just have a housing for a variety of people in varying circumstances.
Yes, and certainly not create silo situations.
Yeah. Okay, another issue that is of importance to us as a chamber is the issue of business, and that business be taxed fairly and encouraged, and that entrepreneurs have a chance to run with their ideas and grow them and create jobs. What are some of your thoughts about how the City of Langley Council can encourage the business community and help it to thrive?
First and foremost, transit needs improvement. We need transportation in order to move people and products. If you want innovation in Langley and or to export the ideas of current residents, then you need to improve transportation. Langley is going to expand. As we said, we're going to have to develop even more housing for people, and not just people who can afford $1 million homes or expensive condos. The more we have an injection of ideas for raising funds that aren't strictly which is taxation, the better for the residents of Langley. And what I mean by that is creating more partnerships. Langley City and Township could create a partnership. We have incredible wineries around here, these vineyards. There's a place in Northern California that I visited, and right there on the main street, they have tasting rooms. So when people come into Langley and visit, these empty storefronts that are downtown Langley, we could have potentially a partnership with the Langley Township and Vineyards and have tasting rooms right there on the front way that are filling up some of the storefronts. And other creative services. I think that the world is becoming more and more digital, and that there is somewhat of a saturation of a particular type of store in Langley downtown, such as thrift stores and that which is of the past, and we need to start injecting some creative new ideas from what I would suggest is perhaps the digital era.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming to speak with us, Dana.
Thank you.
And don't forget to vote on October 20th.